Where do you find the best Iso-8 class recommendations for your characters? There's a T2 ability material shortage, and we got more Dark Dimension picks for you on this special Sunday edition of the Mailbag, guys. And if you're ready to chill out with the Valley Club, find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I hope you're having a great Sunday. I want to welcome you to this special Sunday edition of the Mailbag. And I don't know if this is going to be a thing, guys. This is kind of an experiment. So let me know how you guys like it. And it may become a thing based on that. But we got a lot of questions to get to. Iso-8 classes, T2 ability. The shortage is real for a lot of players that haven't been playing for a lot of time. We're going to discuss ways that you can get more T2 ability materials, Dark Dimension picks, a lot of questions about Dark Dimension picks. But before we get to all those questions, guys, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. I am in celebration mode because Raid Shadow Legends is celebrating its 2-year anniversary, and Raid is now bigger, better, and better than ever before. And this month's 2-year Raid anniversary schedule is absolutely packed with some amazing events. 6 straight weeks of tournaments and events going all the way through the middle of April with some insane prizes for you to win. And they're even launching their first ever clan versus clan tournament, so you can go and smash all the other clans out there. And if all of that wasn't enough, they've just added 12 brand new champions to that impressive Shadowkin faction. And with all these cool prizes you can win in these anniversary events, it's an awesome time to join the Raid community. And if you want to get a head start, all you need to do, click on the link in the description or scan my QR code, and in your account, you will get the free epic champion Jotun, who is absolutely amazing in the Doom Tower. You're also going to get 120,000 silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards, so you can summon some more awesome champions as soon as you get in game. And all that treasure is going to be waiting for you in your inbox right here, but it's only available for new players, and you gotta hurry because it's only available for the next 30 days. So what are you waiting for? Click on the link in the description, and I'll see you in game. Well, thanks once again to the folks over at Raid for sponsoring this video. And if you want to check out that game, make sure you use that link in the description. But without further ado, guys, let's get to all of your questions from the Mailbag. Boom. First question this week. Fist pump from Shylong. Are we fist pumping or are we fist bumping? Either way, what is up, my friend? Thank you for leaving the question. Level 59, looking to build a team for Dark Dimension 2. Should I go all in on Pimtech as it would help for other Dark Dimensions? Farming them currently in the nodes and the store. I don't know if, yes, Pimtech has some synergy in Dark Dimension. They're made to be a Dark Dimension team. I don't know if they're strong enough in other game modes to justify going all in on them for all the Dark Dimensions. Now, with Dark Dimension 2, a little easier. Minerva was the thing back then. You might be able to do it with just Ghost alone because she does that percent-based damage. If you got Minerva and some other characters, it would help as well, but I don't think you need to go all in on Pimtech. They're going to provide you very little value after Dark Dimensions. Yes, they are good on war. They're good on war offense, are good defense. But I think the big key to that is Ghost. So if you want to go all in on a character, I would recommend Ghost. I don't know if I'd recommend the other Pimtech characters though. So hopefully that helps you, brother. Valley, been watching your channel for a while, been playing 2 months. First asking this question, hopefully it's not too long. I started thinking about who I want to use for Dark Dimension 2. Ghost, Minerva, Silver Surfer are shoo-ins, and I'm considering Zemo for standalone value. If I use Surfer, I want a Cosmic Hero as the 5th. I doubt they'll give us free-to-play players more than we have for 2 stars for the foreseeable future. So he will benefit immensely from the focus booth. Wanted to get your take on who will work best. All right, so for Dark Dimension 2, I don't think you should have too much of a problem. You got Ghost, you got Minerva. Both of those characters do percent-based damage, and Silver Surfer is awesome. You might be able to get through it even without it's a Cosmic Hero, just because of how strong Ghost and Minerva is and how old that Dark Dimension 2. So based on your question, you have Invisible Woman here and Bishop as choices. Silver Shatterstar only has 2 stars. So as far as which is the best character, Bishop is going to be your best character. He's going to have the most value long term as part of that Axeman. He's going to have value in a lot of great game modes, and you got really lucky. Pulled a 7 red star bishop. So based on that, I would say bishop, but here's the problem that you did mention. Gold stars are going to be an issue for him. No way to really get those reliably for him right now, unless you get one of these offers that may or may not pop up in the store. I don't know how we're going to get shards for him. Invisible Woman, you probably could get shards a little more reliably for her. Spider-Verse characters, you could, Sinister Six characters. We had Shuri and anyway. Sinister 6 characters will unlock Invisible Woman, so that might be the way to go just for your 5th for Dark Dimension 2, but realize that down the road, Bishop is going to be your better long-term investment, brother, so hopefully that helps you. But yeah, I don't think you should have too much trouble with those characters in Dark Dimension 2. ValleyFlyin, we are seeing a return of Alliance shelling as the importance of war currency continues to increase. What are the devs doing to end this exploit rather than mildly incentivizing against it? So I have not seen this, but you are right that war currency gets more and more important, especially with you having to choose between Gear 15 or some of these character shards that are very, very valuable in that war store. As far as the Alliance shelling, I don't know if they really did anything to seriously address it. And I'm not sure if they can. They tried to make the rewards better to incentivize against it, but there are legitimate reasons for people to be switching alliances. So I'm not sure if they can end that. What I would recommend for the devs, I don't know if it's possible, but factor the total collection power of the alliance more into the equation. I know they use some kind of ELO type of ranking system where the ranks are based on wins and losses, but if they got that equation to put total collection power in that, I think it would make shelling of alliances obsolete. But as of right now, I don't think that the total collection power is factored as much as it would be needed to get this shelling, get rid of the shelling problem. But I haven't noticed it too much where I am in my alliance. But yeah, matchmaking is bad. So if they included the total collection power in that, I think it would do a couple things: improve the matchmaking, and if shelling is still rising again, then it would kind of make that not rise as quick. All right, Valley, hope you're doing well. Not exactly an MSF question, but something I've always wondered is, what's your origin story? How did you come up on the name ValleyFlyin? So I've answered this on mailbags a few times, but mailbags tend to go long because there's a lot of questions. I want to answer all these, and I guess it kind of gets buried in the mix of all these questions. But ValleyFlyin was an old name I used way back in the day when I created like a PlayStation ID. I was playing for San Fernando Valley Rugby Club, so that's where the Valley came from. And my coach called me Flying Hawaiian because I'm from Hawaii, and that the name kind of, I just combine them and been using that for PlayStation when I started the channel. Use that same exact name, so that's where it came from. It's not some real cool story. I wish it was like more inspirational. Like when you're in the valley, you look out, and that's the inspiration to go flying above the I don't know, whatever. But it's from rugby, and that's where it came from. Hey Valley, how prevalent do you think the exploit is, and the silent that Scopely is giving way they're saying you don't care? Well, so this is probably in response to that Silver Surfer offer debacle, people crashing their game and being able to purchase multiple offers. As far as their silence, they did respond, but I don't think they don't care. Obviously, this is making them money in the short term, but costing a lot of money in the long term, because anything that drives down to confidence in your product is not gonna be a good thing long term. So they did address it, and they obviously care. But as far as the prevalence of it, it's hard to say. I've seen 2 screenshots of people that have bought offers multiple times, and if what Scopely is saying is accurate, there's only one person that bought it more than 4 times. So I think there's a lot of misleading screenshots. I know I'm getting a lot of DMs of people saying, hey, there's this crazy high Silver Surfer that I'm saying in Blitz. Blitz is calculated a different way. It's actually based on your roster and then the opponent's actual characters that they go in with, but the stars, the red stars, the gold stars, the gear tiers, those are all based on the team that you take in. And then if you're using a team around that similar power level, that same team could get for a different team that you're using. It's kind of confusing. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but Blitz, the opponents that you see are based on your own roster. Other game modes like real-time arena, normal arena, and war are based on your opponent's actual roster. So if there's evidence of other characters that like strong silver surfers in those game modes, then that would be evidence. And if there's more than 5 of those, that would be evidence that Scopely's investigation did not go far enough. Now, I'm not sure how far they went back with this investigation. They talked about this particular offer, not any offers in the past, not any offers since this, but yes, I hope they've cleared the bug. They said in the response that they gave on their website that they're looking at ways of eliminating this, to closing this loophole. So hopefully that solves some things, and hopefully their investigation was completed, and it was only 5 players that were able to purchase that offer more. And hopefully this doesn't affect things in the past, and hopefully people didn't really use this in the past. All right, Valley, what do you think of the idea? Once a character is at max star, they take them out of the stores. Say you max X23, she's no longer a random character pop up in a war store, giving other characters you want a higher chance to appeal. I would love this idea. This is very player friendly. I think this is so player friendly that Scopely may not be in favor of it, but if they do, or if they are in favor, I think this is a very good thing. And let's say you've got all the characters in the war store maxed out at 7 stars. Maybe more gear, maybe go to gear 13s and 14s and 15 unique pieces. Those orange pieces of gear would replace those characters' slots. But yeah, I would love this. I just don't, I think this may be a little too player friendly for Scopely, but I hope I'm wrong on that one. Valley, keep up the good work, stay classy. With all the other incompetence following on with MSF, there has to be more that we could do. One thing I've been thinking about is Scopely having a license agreement with Marvel/Disney. They keep hurting the Marvel name by creating all these bugs glitches and all the many issues. So I don't know if they're really hurting the Marvel name. When I see all these bugs in the game, for me, and it may be different for everybody, but when I see the bugs in the game, I'm like, man, Scopely really needs to get their act together. They need to really test a lot of things. I don't associate to Marvel, but maybe other people do. So it may be hurting the name for other people, but not for me personally. There has to be somebody at Marvel above Scopely that can put pressure to have a better product. Scopely is the middleman. As a community, we need to find out who they answer to and address their and address our issues to that person. I know there was previously a campaign way back in the day when I was playing Future Fight. People were trying to reach out to Marvel, but the thing is, especially with the conversation that I've had with Cerebro, it seems like every little decision needs to get approval from Marvel. It seemed like it was a lot worse when they were fully owned by Disney and not owned by Scopely. As far as the hoops and red tape that they had to jump through, there's still probably a lot that they have to get approval from Marvel. So I'm assuming that Marvel is fully aware of what's going on in the game. I'm assuming they're aware of the bugs and are probably putting pressure on them to solve this as it comes out. But the thing is, there's so many bugs, there's so many different bugs that pop up. I think it's just a matter of improving their entire department over at Scopely. But yeah, I've seen people do reach out to people like Bill Roseman, people at Marvel Games, just Marvel Studios directly. When when people were complaining about Future Fight back in the day, I don't know how effective it was. I mean, the games tend to go in up and down. It's the sentiment of the community seems a little low. I think it's because of a lot of the bugs. There was that fix MSF movement, a save NSF movement. For me, I think a lot of the issues that people had with the game were addressed. Only big glaring one was the red stars. Now, real-time arena, it still sucks. The way they addressed it wasn't good. We still need a lot more catch-up mechanics, a lot more things. But I think they did address everything but red stars. I would like to get them to go further with a lot of things, especially catch-up mechanics and improving the horrible real-time arena game mode. And then yeah, red stars, they didn't address that. But I think they did address that, and it's just more of the bugs right now. So yeah, I think Marvel's aware of it, and they're wanting to fix it. Scopely's aware of it, definitely. I think they may be putting pressure on themselves to fix it, but I don't know if it's enough, because we still see these things continue to happen over and over and over again. And I don't know what the solution is and what the issues are on their end that they keep happening. Hey, Valley, got Ultimus to 7 stars. Now I'm wondering what I should do with the Ultimus currency. Keep opening the Ultimus orbs and hope for other characters that haven't maxed out. Open orange gears and save it for future store editions. I'm going to be entering the nodes in Dark Dimension 3. Have Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage ready to use. Who else do you... Oh, we got a couple different questions here. So as far as Ultimus, he kind of sucks. You can do a couple things. What I'm doing right now is opening these orbs, hoping for some character shards. I think I started that back in the day with X-23 when Doc Ock was coming out and trying to get those shards for him. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything really great in that. There's nothing really great in Ultimus orbs as well. So you can just save them, see if they change anything to the store, see if there's a character that pops up in there that is very hard to farm, that hopefully you get lucky with that. But yeah, there's really no good answer because there's nothing really appealing in the store. I guess you could save it for orange gear, but it's pretty expensive to get the orange gear you want. So yeah, there's no good, and Ultimus is not that great either. As far as the DD3 city nodes, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage ready to use. So you got all the original symbiotes. Who else do you recommend to take in? All right, I would go Anti-Venom first because Anti-Venom brings that team together, and he's going to give you a lot of value in Dark Dimension 4 as well. And then next character I would recommend is Scream, because Scream also gives value to that team. I don't know if she's more important than some of these other characters, but also a great pick for Dark Dimension 4. So to kind of double up on what characters you're upgrading, Anti-Venom and Scream are gonna be the ones I recommend. But if you wanted to get in there quicker, you could do that. And quite frankly, you could beat the nodes, the city nodes in Dark Dimension 3 with just Symbiote, Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage. You don't need any other characters. You could go through it, possibly one-shotting every single city node with those characters. So you might not need to bring in another character, but you will for Dark Dimension 4. So you might want to start getting on your Dark Dimension 4 building, I don't know, start building for Dark Dimension 4. I was trying to think of a cool thing to say, but I couldn't come up with it. All right, ValleyFlyin all the way from SatX. Hope you and your family are well. Hopefully you are well as well, brother. Hot topic has lately been this Silver Surfer fiasco. They posted their solution, which I'm partially okay with as a free-to-play player. Here's my issue. If the initial intent was to gate the shard access to the free-to-play community, once again being screwed because of the original 100 shards for 3 gold stars, we are now seeing 200 for 4 gold stars. What a difference that is, especially for Reds if there's 2. So I'm assuming, and a lot of the community assumed, that they were intending it to be very free-to-play friendly, gating the access, limiting how many gold stars we could have on Silver Surfer. I am not sure if that was the case. I thought that was the case. The second offer that you mentioned here, the 60 shards for 50 bucks, that looks like that was intentional though. So if that was an intentional offer, now there was a bug with that one as well. Didn't have some of this mystic gear and other things that were supposed to be in that that offer, but they released that offer that appeared to be intentional. So if that was the case, I don't know if this was supposed to be a free-to-play friendly offer there, but it is a debacle. It's not good for free-to-play players. It's not really good for anybody that this happened. Now I'm glad they're rolling this back. And they say they're making a commitment to fixing this loophole in the future. I hope that is true. So we'll wait to see if it's actually fixed. I know there are going to be some people that will try to buy these offers, and if they're not, then good. And if they are able to, then they're looking at some punitive action there. So yeah, the QA is garbage. The QA is garbage. My goodness, I don't know how we get so many bugs. I guess we haven't had any bugs today, so that's good, right? Greetings, ValleyFlyin. Hope you're doing good, brother. I'm on my first run of DD4 in the last Cosmic Node. Now, me too. Taking Symbiote, Spider-Man, Scream, Anti-Venom into City, Phoenix, Ock, and Maw into Legendary. Who should I choose for the last spot for both? My options are Punisher and Invisible Woman, or Carnage and Jubilee. I have no use for Punisher to be T15. Is Jubilee a good tune for Legendary? I think the better option long-term is going to be Carnage and Jubilee. Carnage is going to give you value on that symbiote team. It's probably going to make your run in the city section easier. And Jubilee has a lot of long-term value after GD4. Punisher, Invisible Woman is probably going to be a cheaper, quicker way to go. But Punisher, yeah, no use for Punisher. The skeleton is kind of bad right now. They are getting it at rework in 5.3, but yeah, as of right now, kind of bad. And from what I heard, people that took Punisher into that city lanes did not add any value. I'm going with Night Nurse right here. A little more expensive than Punisher. Maybe not getting in as quick with that, but I think for the city, the skill lanes in the Doom raids, I think she's gonna have more value than Punisher will. Carnage obviously is great, but the bio lanes are kind of done in the Doom raids. So from that standpoint, I might go Night Nurse if I was you. I don't know what kind of gear 15 you have saved up. And Invisible Woman, she'll be quick. She's a quicker character to get. So if speed is your goal there, then Invisible Woman is probably the way to go with the bio gear. But yeah, I don't know if she's gonna have a lot of long-term value either. So Carnage and Jubilee, if these four are your only choices, I would go with Carnage and Jubilee. It's going to slow you down for getting Doom. And if the speed in getting to these nodes is important for you, go with the fast Punisher, Invisible Woman. But if the long-term value after you're done with DD4 is more important to you, Carnage, Jubilee are going to give you more options. But yeah, if those are the only four characters, there's some other options there for you, brother. What up, ValleyFlyin? How you living, homeboy? Living good. Hope you are living good as well. Currently about to enter the cosmic portion of DD4, halfway through with my city team. For the legendaries, Phoenix has been letting me down everywhere. I know she's getting power creep. Is it insane to decide not to take into my DD4 run? From what I hear, she's very valuable because of that special. You need percent base damage. You got it from Ma already, but I think you need an addition to Phoenix. If you remember Dark Dimension 3, the whole Dark Dimension was, or most of Dark Dimension, or not most, the nodes that Phoenix was eligible for was very, very hard, overtuned because of that. I'm not in the legendary section yet, but I think it's gonna be very overtuned. So I think you're gonna struggle with not bringing Phoenix. But like the last question, I don't know how much long-term value she's going to have for you, so you may want to think of it as another character. Thinking Doc Ock, Invisible Woman, Ebony Maw, and Jubilee. What do you think? Am I a moron or onto something? Jubilee might be the character if you're looking for that long-term value of the Axemen. Great raid characters and will help you in the Doom raids going forward. So if you're looking for the long-term value, Jubilee's probably the choice. If you're looking for getting through Dark Dimension less painful, I think Phoenix is going to be the choice from what I heard. I'm not in there yet, but yeah, I think I'm going to take Phoenix. I'm almost done with Phoenix. Jubilee may be another pick for me as well. Hello from across the pond, ValleyFlyin. Hello to you, brother. Not a question, but a suggestion. Now that Silver Surfer has been released, there are folks in my alliance who've gotten confused whether or not I was referring to him, Shield Security, or Scientist Supreme. When I say SS to them, I was thinking, what if I use AGS as his abbreviation? AG is the chemical symbol for silver and S for surfer. I feel AGS flows well. It does. I think a majority of people are going to get confused about this. They're thinking AG, who is a character? Then it start looking through the A characters. It's a weird situation with all those characters right now. I think most people nowadays, when they write SS, are referring to Silver Surfer. Not many people are talking about Shield Security. Not many people are talking about Scientist Supreme anymore. And it does get confusing. So this may be, I know Remanx wanted to use a dollar sign, but whatever is the most easiest for you and help you communicate the best. I just think the AG in the beginning, I don't think people will be thinking of the periodic table when looking at abbreviations. So I don't know if this will stick, but if it does, awesome. Try this with your lines. See if they like it, and maybe it will gain some traction with the rest of the MSF community. Hey, Valley, a question regarding catch-up mechanics. I'm very low in T2s, not really sure how to get more. I currently have 260 of them. Ouch. And while I have 4,484 T3s, I started playing MSF a bit dumb, invested in some of my favorite characters instead of actual good teams, but now I'm focusing on getting more meta teams. Don't have enough T2s to build them up. Any suggestions how to get more? I'm free to play. The only solution is right now is to drop to a low level alliance who's doing Ultimus 6. I'm quite happy with my current alliance where I'm doing Ultimus 7.2, but really want to build up all the new characters. So got a couple options for you, and there may be more out there. And if there are, let me know in the comments, guys. But once in a while, this is probably the least efficient. Once in a while, they're going to pop up in that supply store, pretty cheap, but you're buying one at a time. So that is one source there. Other places, the campaign nodes, every node that has, or the nodes that I looked at before this video, had that you could farm characters on, also have a few. I think it was only 2, but there are a few T2 materials that you can. So any characters that you're farming, you may want to increase the farm, or maybe widen up who you're farming on there. So maybe getting more T2s. The other thing is, as your lines, maybe they're also struggling with T2s, and maybe once in a while, once a week or twice a week, go back and do an Ultimus 6 to get some of those rewards there for those T2 materials. And I guess if it's not gonna make you drop to a different tier in those season raid rewards or rankings, I don't think it'll be that much of a issue. But talk to your alliance if they want to go back down. Maybe they're struggling with the exact same thing you are, brother, and it would be benefit to everybody in your alliance if you guys did that once or twice a week. Hey Valley, hope all is well. Ultron is now an option for DD4 with, is Ultron now an option for DD4 with red stars being introduced? I would say at this point, no. He's still a pretty expensive character to gear up. And you know, when he's going right and he's doing everything right, his turns are going, his bots are on the field, he is working very well. But with the amount of dying that happens in the dark dimensions, you may not get his cooldown set. So there may be some nodes or some certain runs that he just is not going to be very effective and not doing much. So with that said, he's going to be a better character in most game modes, and I don't think Dark Dimension is one of them, especially for the cost. So you can build them up, but maybe not specifically for Dark Dimension. And we don't know when these red stars are coming. That was in that early 2021 preview. It could be towards in a few months that we're getting these. So I'm not sure, but not for Dark Dimension. I wouldn't recommend it for Dark Dimension yet. Hey Valley, a question to pass on to devs. How come in Australia it cost me 900 cores for the 2 red star deal, trash checks into the store, same price as the US, but the Silver Surfer deal cost me $30.99 when it cost US $19.99. I think the price difference here in Australia is ridiculous, and it's the conversion rate. It definitely is the conversion rate. I've heard of this with other countries, especially Brazil, where they pay some crazy prices to get offers just because of the conversion rate. $19.99 and equals $26.35 in Australian dollars. $4.64 is the difference. So I can buy offers to get ripped off every time because I overpay and I can't get the conversion rate correct. Yeah, I don't know what they do for the conversion rate. I don't know if that's determined by Scopely or Apple or Google or who has the say in that, or if there's some kind of increased rate in different stores that they have and then they pass that on to consumers. But it does have to do with the conversion rate. I'm not sure why it's not exactly, if it should be 26 as far as the conversion rate, it goes up to 30. It may just be some rounding from different sources, but it is a problem in different regions. Especially, I hear a lot of chat in Brazil where the dollar is not as strong, and if you want to get an offer in Brazil, you're paying some crazy prices in that Brazil offer. I don't know what the solution to this is. I don't know if there is a solution, because if you offered it at lower prices, there could be an issue as people going into different regions and getting really, really cheap offers based on the conversion. I don't know what the solution is, but it does have to do with the price calculations, and I'm not sure who's taking their piece. If it's just Scopely trying to increase the price over the player base that has to convert, or if it was determined at a different time when the dollar was stronger. I don't know how this is, but it's with the conversion rate. Valley, do you think we're gonna have a gold milestone event coming up, or can I spend some of the gold I've been hoarding for the rumored event that seems to never come up? As we know, we don't have a milestone character right now. We used to have Emma, we used to have Symbiote Spider-Man. We don't have a pure milestone release character. Now there you can still get some shards for Symbiote Spider-Man and Coulson in those orbs, but as far as a release character like we don't have one going right now. And I think a lot of people are speculating we're gonna have one coming up sometime, and you should be saving gold for that. I'm still spending my gold though. if an event comes up, I'm going to try to manage it. If we get an announcement of an event coming up, I'm going to try to manage it, probably saving for a little while. But there's characters that I'm trying to keep up with in war and in the raids. I think if I just save and not upgrade anybody, I would be too far left behind. So I'm using what I can. I'm trying to stay within the daily milestone objectives, so I don't go past that. I think it's what 2 point something million per day. I'm trying to stay within those, spending 1 million or so per day, and that's what I normally do when I'm saving up. But yeah, I would recommend spending as minimal as you need to keep up with the current meta and saving what you can, just in case. It may never come out. They may have some announcement like they did with the Orb Avalanche back in January that no, we're not having any more events like this. But yes, you could be hurting yourself in the long run if you're not upgrading your character. So finding a happy medium till we get an announcement would be my recommendation, because that's what I'm doing. Greetings, ValleyFlyin. 1 node left in the cosmic lane for DD3. What character should I get ready for the city nodes to finish Dark Dimension 3? Also, would they be viable for Dark Dimension 4? So, the 3 characters that I'm taking to Dark Dimension 4 that would probably allow you to one-shot those nodes in DD3 are Symbiote Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, and Scream. I think they're kind of cheap relative to some of the other symbiotes for Dark Dimension under gear 15 pieces. So if you're going to take those characters in, go with those characters. Symbiotes are who you should be building up for any of the city lanes in the Dark Dimensions. Hey man, how are you doing? Well, I hope you're doing well. Now to my question. I'm going into Dark Dimension 3 for the first time. About to be on City. What team is good for it? Symbiotes. Yes, Symbiote. I have a full Shadow with 8 total T4s or Sinister 6. All my core Sinister 6 are 7 stars. Cat, thanks, man. Keep up the great work. I know Symbiotes are well. I've not tested out Shadowlands. I know they're supposed to be a very good war team and are capable of some crazy punch-ups in war. I don't know how effective they're going to be in Dark Dimension. I would recommend going with a guaranteed choice of the symbiotes, because you know they're good in Dark Dimension 3. You know they're good in Dark Dimension 4. Shadowlands may be good. I have not tested them yet, and I don't feel confident enough to recommend them. Now, there may be some characters like a White Tiger or Moon Knight that you might want to bring in there, but they're very expensive as far as their Gear 15 pieces. So symbiotes may still be the way to go. I know it's what everybody does, but they do that for a reason. Sinister 6, I don't think investing in Doc Ock would hurt you, because you're going to need him for Dark Dimension 4 anyway in the legendary section. So you could go Doc Ock if you wanted to do something for Dark Dimension 3, but symbiotes, you could one-shot them with the 3 correct symbiotes, guys. I recently took my Shadowland to 262k power, and I've put the T4 on Moon Knight's passive. I'm doing all the passives, keep putting resources into them after I get all the T4s put into them. Again, they're very, very good. They probably are the best pure war offense team right now in Marvel Strike Force. That said, war happens 3 times a week. Is it worth it to invest in these teams for three battles per week? If it is, then yes, keep investing in this team, because you're going to be able to do some crazy punch-ups with this team. If not, and there are other game modes that you're struggling with, like Arena, Raids, I would probably put my resource in them before I go for a war team. But I prioritize war offense before I prioritize war defense. So once these guys get in once war offense becomes a priority for you as far as where you are in the game, you're comfortable with your Arena team, you're comfortable with your Raid teams, then yeah, I don't see an issue putting a lot of resources into Shadowlands. But remember, 3 battles a week that you're going to get a lot of use from these guys. Quick question about Alliance donations. I noticed if you go to the donation section before each reset, there's unopened boxes that if you click on, you get Start Tech currency. Do you know if it will automatically collect for you at reset, or you need to do it manually every day? If it's manual, I've been missing out on it for years. I didn't know about it. Nobody ever talked about it. Cheers, brothers. So if you miss it for more than a day and you're not claiming it, then yeah, it goes away. You could claim the previous day's rewards, but every time you go into that donation section, there's a button to claim the previous day's rewards. So if you're not logging in for more than 2 days, then you'll miss it. But if you're going in there and continually donating it, I think you have to click that claim all button or claim the previous day's rewards before you do your current day's donation. So if you've been keeping up with your donations, I don't think you've been missing your rewards, because you have to claim them before you do that. Now, if you're not doing your donations, then yeah, you might have missed the reward. So do your donations every day. There, you get a silver promotion credit for doing that anyway. So I don't know why you would want to purposely miss it, but yeah, silver promotion credits from the objectives. I think that's reason alone to do your donations, brother. Hey, bud, just wondering if there's an Iso-8 spreadsheet or infographic that depicts the optimal assignation of the faction. Is I am not familiar with that word, but I think that's how you would pronounce if that is even a word. All right, but two places that I would recommend, and two and maybe three, but two of them are kind of related. First is the Remanx spreadsheet. He does testing all the time. That was the original place before MSF.gg added all their stuff, but I'm going to put a link to that Remanx spreadsheet in the description. I think I put it in last week as well because people are always asking about this. He updates that all the time. The other place that I mentioned is MSF.gg. Now, Remanx's list is based more on testing. The MSF.gg list is based on all the users of MSF.gg that have their characters up to gear tier 12, and that is what Iso-8s they have on these characters. So this is based on MSF.gg is based on what people actually have as far as their Iso-8s equipped. It may be right, it may be wrong, but you'll see the percentages that the community has among these Iso-8s. I mean, right and wrong is based on your current situation. So it may be more, it may be less optimal than what would be the best for you based on how you have this team, but the MSF.gg data is based on actual players and what they have as far as Iso-8. And if you use that Mantis tool that takes that data from the MSF.gg, and you can use that with an emulator, and you can see the data actually pop up as an overlay on your emulator. So two main places, MSF.gg and the Remanx spreadsheet is what I would recommend for Iso-8s and the classes, brother. Hey, brother, I have 4 yellow, 4 red anti-venom, 5 yellow, 5 red scream, free to play. Would you recommend bringing neither or both into Dark Dimension? Now, that Venom might struggle, but based on his kit, I think you still want to bring him in. He adds value to the symbiotes. He can bring them back to life. He can still steal those buffs. So I think he's going to add a lot of value to that team, and he can apply debuffs to the other team as well. 5 yellow, 5 red scream. Again, struggle a little bit, but Dark Dimension 4 is going to be a grind no matter who you take in. Even if these characters are highly built, you might still struggle in Dark Dimension 4 because it's designed to be that way. I would bring them in. If I was in your shoes, I would bring them in. If someone has some actual data testing in these characters, if they're not built as high, not as strong, how they do, maybe they fall off, but I would bring them in based on these. That's my recommendation. I think the Symbiotes City, that's the most optimal choice. Now, if anybody's tested out Shadowlands, we mentioned them in a previous question. I think they're just going to be good for the war, but certain characters like a White Tiger might be good on a hybrid symbiote team if you have the gold and red stars on these, which you may not based on what you have on these symbiotes already, but I would build them. I would build them and bring them in and check them out. For City, or DD4 City, planning on taking Symbiote Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, Night Nurse. With that team comp, who would be better to take with them, White Tiger or Moon Knight? Thanks for the great work. I like Moon Knight as a combination with them. Now, but you're going to run into the same problem with Moon Knight as you will with White Tiger. They're both 72 characters, which means they take 72 pieces of that Gear 15. So they're both very expensive characters. I like White Tiger a little better because of her passive. 70% speed bar filled every time she kills an enemy. So you could be using Symbiote Spider-Man and Anti-Venom to drop these enemies low. Actually, you don't have Carnage, so the speed doesn't even matter. But I like that speed bar fill with White Tiger, giving you more kills. So my recommendation would be White Tiger. And then if later for your second run, you get Carnage, I think you can do some really, really cool things there with White Tiger. So if it was between that, I would go with White Tiger, but I would probably prioritize some other characters before them because of the cost. They're kind of expensive to bring into Dark Dimension 4, the city lanes. Hey, Valley, hope you and your family are having a great day. Hulk fist bump from Florida. There you go, brother. Now, in regards to my question, I have 2 quick questions. Planning to take Sinister, Emma, Hela, Black Widow, and Silver Surfer once I get a chance to get through DD2. Also, maybe White Tiger. Is that a good enough team to get through DD2? So we got percent-based damage from no one here, but Emma Sinister, that might be good. I think you might be able to get through it with this. You might not be able to fully auto it, but but you got a actually, let me look at this. Looking at this team, you don't have a city hero, so Silver Surfer is not going to be optimized. White Tiger, I don't know if I would bring her with this team comp. I would bring somebody maybe like a Ghost that has percent base damage. Every mob would be good percent base damage. Phoenix, or you optimize your Silver Surfer bringing in a cosmic hero. I think even with this Dark Dimension 2, I think you should be able to get through this. Also, will that allow me to start with 4 characters? With tier 13, I would need a full team. So to start Dark Dimension 2 and to start Dark Dimension 3, you need a full team of 5 for that first node. The subsequent nodes, you don't need full teams for Dark Dimension 2 and Dark Dimension 3. For Dark Dimension 4, the subsequent nodes, the trait nodes, you need at least 4 characters with that trait. So 5 to enter and then less on future nodes. Greetings from San Diego. Just realized Dum Dum isn't in the game after watching Captain America: The First Avenger. So my question is, what character mechanics would you need to bring the Shield to have this as a defensive team, or reinvent them for offense and war? Thanks for answering all my questions. Stay classy, Valley. I think one of the big things going on right now is turn meter. Turn meter rewind, screwing the turn meter of your character. So if they were to build a defensive team, I think turn meter manipulation would be important for them. Same thing with offense, war offenses. You got to get around these new hybrid teams. So some kind of mechanic to counter all the speed of the Shadowlands or the Axemen with that turn meter. Something to get them to go quick. And to counter all that speed, maybe some kind of deep immunity on spawn, or some evades on spawn, or something like that. But they got to get around the turn meter and the fast teams that are there right now. So if there were to bring some kind of mechanic that Dum Dum would bring, or other Shield character to help them to return to the meta and war defense, or bring them into a war offense team, that is what I think they would need. And that is it for your questions, guys. Thank you for each and every one of you that left a question on the mailbag on the Discord server. Make sure you join the Discord if you want to get a question potentially featured on an upcoming episode of the mailbag channel. Let me know what you guys think of this Sunday edition. Maybe it's going to be a thing going forward, and maybe not, depending what you guys let me know in the comments, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go, and check me out on stream, ValleyFlyin 76 on Twitch, guys, tomorrow morning. I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump, baby. ValleyFlyin out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.